everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And, folks, I'm trying, the more and more the days go by, the more urgency I seem to have for myself. And I hope that this urgency is portrayed through the information I'm getting out here. And folks, this is really, really important to understand because you understand the data, when you understand the trends, it indicates what's coming. And that's why I encourage you um, to spread this information. I don't care if you give the video to other people, but as long as you learn the information and you can kind of relay that information to other people, that's what's important. And the more people that are aware of this, the more you can get ahead of the curve and prepare beforehand. And so here I want to cover this article because the statistics are mind-boggling. Restaurant recovery fried as business conditions worsened 3 months ago. Here, the struggling restaurant industry is a grave concern. The association included a new survey of the industry's economic conditions and concluded the state a recovery from the pandemic will be prolonged well into 2022. Things I've been saying that things are going to get worse heading into next year. I know a lot of people say, oh, thank goodness 2021 is over, on to the new year with bigger and better things. Folks, ever since this whole thing started, each ensuing year has gone gradually worse. If someone would have told you, hey, this is going to happen, you're going to be in your home, you're not going to be able to do anything, you're going to be curtailed, and a lot of things will not be available to you. A lot of people would have been like, no, you're crazy. That will never happen. But here we are. I'll continue with the article. They warned the majority of full service and limited service operators say business conditions are worse now than 3 months ago. Okay. You can see a restaurant operator's outlook dropped to lowest in 7 months. I'm going to go ahead because it gets better here. And here is the percentages of inflation, food inflation, labor shortages, and logistic nightmares that have made some restaurants' items nearly impossible to detain. So here, 78% of operators say the restaurant experienced a decline in customer demand for indoor dining. Okay, here they say because of this right here, because of the cerveza sickness. 63% of operators say their sales in volume in August, historically one of the busiest months for restaurants, was lower than it was in August of 2019. Costs are up 91% because they're paying more for food. 84% have higher labor costs. 63% are paying higher occupancy costs, but profitability is down. And 85% of operators report smaller margins than before the pandemic. And let's see, 70% of operators say the restaurant does not have enough employees to support current customer demand. 95% of restaurant operators say their restaurant experienced supply delays or shortages of key food or beverage items in the past 3 months. And here we see 51% of restaurants couldn't pay rent in September, and that's up 6%. Folks, I don't know if these statistics are speaking to you or saying anything to you, but here is the reality of the situation. The reality is, as these restaurants start closing their doors and they can no longer afford to keep business open, that means that's that many less jobs available. And people who have been on unemployment, who have been depending on the state, when those benefits are ended, which they have in a lot of places, then when they go out to look for a job, there's going to be a lot more competition for a lot less jobs. And this is the dire situation we're in. Not only that, the private industry, which is mostly run by the middle class in terms of like private businesses, that it has drastically dropped. And when you talk about, less opportunity for people to work, but higher costs and higher cost of food and higher cost of living, you start tightening and you start really affecting the economy. And as we, step into the end of 2021 and head into 2022, these circumstances are going to become more and more dire and more obvious. It can be blamed on all the cerveza sicknesses and its variants, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, there was an economic crisis before this. This just broke the straw off the camel's back. And when I look at statistics like this, I mean, I I just can't imagine how this is gonna get better. It's only gonna. This is just the beginning, and that's why I have a sense of urgency to present this information, to let people know, hey, don't be fooled. But what you're being told, that we're in a very, very uh, a scary situation, to say, for lack of a better phrase or term, folks. It's time to put things into perspective. I do believe 2022 is going to be a very, very tough year. And I believe that because as the eviction moratoriums are lifted, as the unemployment benefits are ending, what are people going to do as there are less jobs that are available? Never mind the mandates. That's there's a variety of factors involved here. But the fact that you have less jobs to offer for a higher demand of people, it's what's coming is going to be a scenario that we all have to prepare for. And that's why on this channel, I do talk about, hey, when you go to the store, get a little extra, or, plan ahead. I'm not saying a hoard, but keep these things in mind, because things are going and increasing in price. So I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Share this video with other people. Share the information with other people so they're aware. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.